Avenir is a global career guidance event to empower students and assist them in identifying their ideal future career path. It was conceptualized by the Board of Directors of Indian Schools in Sultanate of Oman. The first Avenir was organized at Indian School Al Mabala in the year 2018. In 2019, Indian School El Seeb conducted the program. Indian School Muscat conducted the first virtual Avenir in the year 2020. Avenir 2021 was conducted virtually by Indian School Al Wadi Al Kabir. In 2022, the flagship school in Oman. Indian School Bosher is all set to fly the flag higher by conducting Avenir 2022 in hybrid mode. Our impeccable planning, devoted team, unmatched resources guarantee a memorable event. The 5-day event will be held from Thursday, October 13, 2022 to Tuesday, October 18, 2022. Prominent achievers, educators, and industry experts will address the audience. Universities and educational institutes from different corners of the globe will present themselves to the audience of Avenir 2022. The event is open to all educational boards, including CBSE, ICSE, IGCSE, and IB. It will provide comprehensive career guidance to students to pursue their passions at national and international universities. Avenir 2022 guarantees a wealth of information and awareness on 21st century courses, scholarships, internships, and career placements. This event will assist students in discovering their ideal future career path. Let us gather together for this 5 days of excitement, effulgence, enlightenment, exploration, and exaltation. Let's join Avenir 2022 to discover you.
Music is a moral law. It gives soul to the universe, wings to the mind, flight to the imagination, and charm and gaiety to life and to everything. Good evening, one and all. Let me take you all through the listings of what to expect in today's session. It is the first session for this evening of the Mega Career Guidance Event, Avenir 2022. #Discover You, hosted by Indian School Bausha under the aegis of Board of Directors, Indian Schools in Oman. The welcome address will be followed by a brief introduction and a video on our eminent speaker. Then we shall invite the esteemed speaker for his presentation. After the presentation, we shall request a guest speaker to answer a few questions raised by the attendees in the Q&A segment. The continuing session will be taken up by the university spokesperson. The detailing of the course available and the process of admission will be explained in detail. We shall conclude this session with a vote of thanks. Today is the opportunity to build the tomorrow you want.
Good evening, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Avinya 2022, #DiscoverYou, a global career guidance program launched by Indian School Bausha under the aegis of Board of Directors of Indian Schools in Oman. On behalf of Indian School Bausha, I, Varshit of Class 10,
and I, Arsha of Class 8,
take the proud privilege of expressing our profound gratitude to His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq Al Said for the altruistic and noble benevolence showered on the Indian diaspora in the Sultanate of Oman. May the Almighty shower His choicest blessings on His Majesty, and may this nation experience peace and everlasting prosperity.
We are happy to welcome all the students, parents, and teachers for being a part of Avinya 2022, #DiscoverYou. Thank you one and all for your presence here this evening. It is with sheer joy and great pride that I take the task of introducing our speaker today, Mr. Jishnu Dasgupta. Armed with degrees from an NIT and XLRI, Mr. Jishnu was set for a corporate career in marketing until he joined folk-rock band Swaratma. He plays bass guitar and manages the award-winning acts. Swaratma is a genre-defining homegrown act, having played hundreds of shows to thousands of people in the country and around the world. The music is Indian folk blended with contemporary rock, blues, and reggae. But what makes their music special is the issues and subjects they sing about, from river conflicts to politics, from personal journeys to celebration of love. While describing their music, Rolling Stone magazine called it the sound of guitar, bass, drums, and India. And their latest single, Mushkil Mein Jeena, made it to the Apple Music list of the top 100 songs of 2020. Their song, Beta Sweater Pehno, was recently featured on the soundtrack of the acclaimed web series, The Family Man Season 2. With a visually electric, high-energy stage act, Swaratma creates a celebratory atmosphere with music, theatrical elements, and interactivity. When not playing music or managing the band, Jishnu is a full-time dad to his two sons, Alap and Abir. Mr. Jishnu is into surfing, scuba diving, and yoga, but what makes him the most genuine joy is meaningful conversation. We would like to request the audience to kindly post your queries in the chat box. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please join me and listen to our speaker, Mr. Jishnu Dasgupta, on his topic, Career in Music. That platform is all yours, sir.
Hi, thank you very much. I wonder if you can hear me. Just give me a thumbs up, MCs, if you can. Yes, great. Thank you very much. Thank you, Indian School Bausha, for this warm and gracious introduction. It really feels wonderful to be amongst all of you. I wish I could have been there in person, but then since we are, apart, separated by this wide Arabian Sea, let us count upon the digital technologies to help us bridge this gap. But I'm really delighted to be able to share my story, a little bit of my journey with all of you. I must say that when I got the call and the message about this kind of an event, my first reaction was that I wish we had something like this when we were in school. Back in the day, we never really knew about how things worked, in the real world. And so it really is good that you're having all of these interactions with people from various kinds of avenues and backgrounds and professions so that you can make up your mind on what you want to do. So let's dive straight in. I'm more of an interactive storyteller. So if there's any questions that you have or any reactions or even emojis or GIFs, if that's possible, please drop them in the chat box. I'm going to have the chat box open. And if you feel like dropping some hearts or some thumbs ups or emojis or whatever it is, please feel free to do that. So I'm going to share a little bit about my journey as a musician and talk a little bit about the opportunities in the career of music, if that's what catches your fancy and if that's what brings you joy and that's what gives you purpose. But before I launch into a speech or a gyan session or all of these, words of so-called wisdom, I'm going to play you a song. So that's going to set a lot of things into context. Now, the filter is going to make you believe that my guitar is only half, but actually it's not. It's a full guitar. And this is a song of ours called Topi Wale. So my band, Swaratma, that's SWARATHMA, is a folk rock band that I am a member of, and I would really love it if all of you could listen to this music. But here is a little bit of a taste. सर पे हाथ डाले खाली पेट मारे ओह सर पे हाथ डाले खाली पेट मारे टोपी वाले झुके तो पैरों को छू ले पर अपना पिछू संभाले हाथों को तो जोड़े खरीद ले घोड़े यही तो राजनीति है भैया बोले मेरी मैया ओ सुर पे हाथ डाले खाली पेट मारे ओ सर पे हाथ डाले खाली पेट मारे टोपी वाले So that's a little bit of the title track of our second album. It was called Topi Wale, and this is a song about politics and politicians, and that's the way we felt at the time back in the day when we were writing this song. And we wanted to write a song about how we felt about the world of politics, and so that became the title track of the song. Now, in the context of this, what I'd like to take you through is a little bit of the journey of how such a song comes into existence. If this is what you want to do, then what are the opportunities that lie ahead of you? What are some of the, let's say, some of the risks that you need to be aware of, and so on and so forth. But to give you a little background of myself, I am a Bengali, but I'm from Trivandrum in Kerala. So I speak both Bengali and Malayalam, or Malayalam, as they say. And the idea is that my dad was a government servant. He was a space scientist in Trivandrum, and I grew up there speaking Malayalam outside the house and Bengali inside the house. And like I said, in those days, there really wasn't any idea of different kinds of opportunities. And I genuinely felt that I wanted to do engineering. So I got a chance to do my engineering degree at NIT Allahabad. After which I joined the software company TCS. I spent about 3 years as a software engineer, and I wanted to move on from software and do something different. And I was frankly quite confused about what it is that I wanted to do. And the choice of an MBA was more an act of a way of getting out of the world of software than a focused idea of, okay, I want to do management. And it's only after I started doing my MBA that I figured out that I really enjoyed marketing. And, you know, where's the world of engineering and where's the world of marketing? They're completely different. But at the same time, I really enjoyed the creativity and the hands-on excitement of being in a marketing and sales kind of a job. And I joined the company ITC at the end of it to pursue that kind of a career. And as I was in the ITC job, I happened to meet the musicians who I would later join as part of the band Swaratma. Now, music has always been a parallel track for me, and that explains why I ended up joining this band. I have always enjoyed playing music with other people. I've always been looking for people that I can jam with or that I can share my music with. And that's always been something that I have searched for wherever I've been. So when I was in Trivandrum, before I joined TCS, I had a band. In engineering college, I had a band. When I moved to Calcutta with TCS, I had a band. I moved to XLRI Jamshedpur. I formed a band with my classmates. I moved to Bhopal for my initial training days with ITC. I found a band there as well. So I have always been looking for bands. But then when I moved to Bangalore with ITC is when I joined a band for the first time that was more serious about music than I was. And for the band Swaratma, which was already in existence, so, I did not found the band, so to speak. I joined the bandmates who were looking for a bass guitar player at the time. And I joined a band that was really, really focused. They had written original songs. They had a sound. They had an ideology. They had something to say. They were original in their expression and all of those things, which were quite fresh and new to me at the time. And I spent about a year and a half trying to manage both a career in marketing and the band's life of performing shows and writing songs and so on. And there came a time when we realized that if all of us don't give up our personal journeys and join the journey of the band, we would never really be able to find out whether this band could make it work or not. And a few years ago, we all did that. And as a result of which, we have enjoyed all of this success. We have, of course, it's still a journey and there's much to be achieved. But we have had the fortune of releasing 3 albums of songs and many singles and different kinds of material, different kinds of songs. Our songs have been part of web series on Amazon Prime. We have toured the world. We haven't had a chance to come to the Middle East, but we've played in London a couple of times, Singapore a couple of times, Australia, Morocco, Hong Kong, and so forth. And we've performed all over the country, performing our songs, the songs that we have written, the songs that speak about who we are and the way we see the world. And that is the most exciting thing about being in this band. So the first lesson from my journey that I'd like to share with you is that I remember from my time as somebody in 8th standard, 9th standard, or even 11th and 12th of being under tremendous pressure to choose what my stream is going to be. Is it going to be, towards science or engineering and things, or medicine, or should I look at something else like the creative arts? Or there could be all of these different options that lie before you. But if you can see from my own example of what I went through, none of this stuff is permanent. You don't need to believe that if you are going to do a certain field or going into a certain field now, that's it. You're going to be stuck with that forever. No, that's not true. There is always a possibility of pivoting, of changing, of going from one particular stream to another, depending on what it is that you feel like, as long as you are willing to learn, as long as you're willing to unlearn, and keep moving forward on things that bring you joy and things that bring you happiness. And if you can do that, then as long as you do whatever you do with honesty and with the best of your ability, then choosing a stream right now need not matter and need not define the rest of your life. So that's the first lesson that I wanted to give you. Now, moving on from there, I joined the whole field of music, and I realized that there are a lot of misconceptions about what the field of music really is. Is it all about just playback singing, as you know how they say you sing for films and everybody knows your songs, and you become a star because you're singing the songs that everyone is humming along to. Is that what music is all about? Or is it you become a part of a band, or you're a singer or a performer and you play on stages and there are all these lights and all this excitement, and is that what music is all about? So that would be some things that people think about. And if you look at the way things are right now, then is it all about Instagram and reels and becoming overnight sensation, becoming viral, and everybody follows you and you become a trend? Is that what music is all about? There are all of these different kinds of ways that the world of music is perceived. And one of the interesting things about it is that it is always changing. The world of music that I started out in and the world of music that I am in today are completely different. And it is important to remember that these things that you think of today are not going to remain the same even a few months from now. And of course, a few years later, things are going to be very different. However, even though the world around the music keeps changing, the core of music always remains the same, which is something that I really love to share with people, which is that newspapers and news articles on the web and all, they make us believe that music is entertainment. Music is what you do to relax, or music is what you do or listen to enjoy. Music is, let's say, part of the arts and entertainment section, which is not as essential as serious topics like, let's say, politics or education or social studies or maths or important things like that. Music is, in my time, it used to be the period in class that used to get replaced with extra class for maths, because, it's not really critical. However, now this is the interesting part that I learned a few years ago, is that the ancient Greeks used to consider music and astronomy as both sides of the same coin. Now, music and astronomy are completely different. What could they have to do with each other? But what the ancient Greeks used to believe is that astronomy is the study of heavenly bodies that are outside of the earth and the atmosphere, whereas music is about things within our heart and soul that you cannot see and touch, but it helps us make sense of our own lives and our own hearts and minds, which is why sometimes you listen to a song or a piece of music and you'll have goosebumps. Your skin will respond to a certain kind of music. Or it happens to me sometimes that I'll just break into tears because there's a certain song that really moves me in a certain way. And you can never tell what it is that is about music. It just gets under your skin and lets you experience life in a way that you would never have expected, which leads us to believe that music and the arts are not just something that you do for fun. These are essential for human survival, because music is something that is always present whenever there is a moment of great human emotion. Think of any moment of great human emotion. A victory in an Olympics, they sing the national anthem of the country. You think of a wedding, every wedding in every culture has music associated with it. There is music associated with funerals. There's music associated with tragedies or celebrations. Every festival has its own music. Human beings use music to make sense of emotions. And that is the core of the whole purpose of what music is all about. And if during your music lessons, many of you, I'm sure, would be learning music, as vocals or instrumentals, it is often difficult for music teachers to convey the purpose of music, because as teachers, we often get caught up in whether you finish the syllabus, whether you've learned what you're supposed to, without really understanding whether you're actually getting to the core of what the purpose of music is. And if you can stay true to the purpose of music, it will continue to bring you joy, both as a professional musician and as just a music enthusiast. So with that in mind, I wanted to move on to an important part of my journey, which is understanding my own artistic objective. Now, I wear different hats. I'm not only a musician, I'm also a part of a music business. When you say only a musician, yes, I play the guitar, I play bass guitar for the band. I help to write songs. I help with my band members, I compose, and we come together to create music. That's one part of my job. And the other part of my job is to take forward the opportunities of Swaratma as a band, getting concert bookings, making sure we get projects where we are able to share our music with companies or their initiatives that require music. We take forward our music into areas where music is required, for example, web series or advertisements and things like that. So this is the entire music part of it. And I'm going to cover briefly both parts of my life, which is the musical artistic part and the music business part. And the reason why both of these are important is because there are career opportunities in both. Now, let's talk for a minute about music composition. Now, if you think of your favorite song, the one that you stream on Spotify, or let's say you're listening to it on YouTube, or you're playing a game, with all your friends or with strangers, and there's a soundtrack in the game that really feels, there's a song that really pumps up the feeling of the game. Now, when all of that happens, there is a certain moment in time when you feel that you're really feeling the right. Now, please excuse me for just 1 second. Yeah, sorry about that. So if we come up, if we talk about music composition, where do really these songs come from? And I'm going to talk about a little bit about the songwriting process. Now, if you are in the business of creating music, it is important to believe, and this is what I believe about songwriting or composition, is that many of these things are just divine intervention, that there is some energy, whether or not you believe in a supreme power, it doesn't matter, but there is some energy that passes through you at the right time, at the right place. You just have to be ready to receive it. But the other part of it that you need to do is that your skills have to be ready to receive that inspiration. And I'll give you an example of it. There was a time a few years ago when I was learning about a certain kind of chord called the major seventh chord, which sounds like this. It's just a simple finger positioning that gives a certain mood. Can you guys hear it? Thumbs up in the chat if you can.
Yes, sir.
And over this, I just laid a simple melody that I felt went with this kind of flow, and that sounded like. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. And it was just this little bit that I had. I didn't have anything else until I stayed with it for long enough to realize that this is a song a little bit about having lost something, or perhaps feeling feeling wistful about a certain way. And I hit upon this idea of regret, of of how we deal with regret. And it often feels like you feel like saying that I live my life without any regrets, but that's not really true. You know, you constantly live with regret. You feel like, I wish I'd done this differently, or I wish I had not said this to that person, or I wish I had said something else or done something else. So that's when this idea of this particular word in Hindi, which is kash means if only. And that's where the song really began to evolve. And it sounded like this. काश मैंने बात अपनी सुनी होती तो जिंदगी आज कहीं और ही ले जाती पर बैठे हैं अभी अपनी जिद के साए में गाते हैं यही गीत इसके बारे में हम कहते तो हैं सबको यही कि सब ठीक है पर अंदर कहीं चुभती हुई तकलीफ है काश हमें मिल जाता कहीं फिर से वो लम्हा तो कल एक नई सुबह होती पर होता यूं नहीं जीवन के फेरों में पीछे जो गया गुम है अंधेरे में So that became the song of Swaratma called Kash, and then we released it in the year 2018, and it's available on YouTube. But the core idea comes from knowing enough about music and being open to receiving the inspiration wherever you may find it. And that part of the composition leads me to certain career opportunities that you might have related to music composition itself. You know, you could be a composer for, let's say, film soundtracks, or for advertising jingles, or for arranging music. Now, a music arranger's job is to listen to a composition like that and imagining, you know, yes, this should have drums, this should have piano, this should have trumpet, or this should have other kinds of instruments. That's the role of a music arranger. Usually music composers work with music arrangers to create the entire feeling of that music that you listen to when it finally comes out. Music composers work in different ways. You usually have a primary instrument that you use, be that a piano or a guitar or something else. And the idea is to constantly create. You know, if you are learning music, if you are already a musician, and if you feel like creating your own music, then there is no right way to create your music. The only way to create music is to start creating. And this is when I have to tell you a story of one of the most famous bands of all time called the Beatles. I mean, of course, you know, many of you may have heard of it. The Beatles are, you know, the single most famous, most successful, path-breaking rock band of all time. And their main songwriting duo, two people who used to write most of their songs, were John Lennon and Paul McCartney. And when they would come together from the age of 14, they started writing songs. And of course, over the years, they wrote some classics. And there was a third member of the band called George Harrison, the guitar player, who did not have as many songwriting credits. Like, he hadn't written as many songs as Lennon and McCartney. And when he was asked about it, he said that Lennon and McCartney have been writing songs since they were 14 years old. And the early songs they wrote were terrible. They were just learning the craft at that time. But by the time the Beatles became well known, they had already written their bad songs. And when George Harrison joined the band as a music composer and songwriter, he had to get those bad songs out of its system so that he could start writing good songs. And which is what brings me to the idea of, if you feel like a musician when you are at a piano or a guitar or in violin or whatever instrument you're learning, you are already a musician. You don't need to believe that someone's going to come and tell you that, yes, you are a musician from today and that's when you're a musician from. No, you are a musician today already. because you have an instrument and you know how to play it, or you have a voice and you know how to sing. You are already a musician. Now, if you want to create music, then the only way to do it is to start creating music today. If you show up and treat your music as your art and your craft, and you bring yourself to that craft as often as you can, and you keep your heart and mind open to the experiences around you, then the chances are that the way you feel about the world is going to channel through you. Use your skills as a musician or a vocalist or a singer or whatever it is, and it's going to come out in some form. Now, when that music comes out of you, that's the interesting part. You may be worried about whether people will like my music. What if it is absolute junk? What will happen? I will look like a fool if I put out my music and nobody likes it. Well, the point of it is you have to like it first, or you have to feel like it's a about it. That's half the battle won already. And you have no real control over someone else, whether they like that kind of music or not. Now, the thing is that when the time comes for, excuse me, are you still able to hear me? Thumbs up, please.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
All right, thank you. So the point is that when you are really able to come back out and share music, and you are worried about whether people will like it or not, there is no real way to control that. So as long as you enjoy it, or your small group of friends enjoy it, then that's a good place to start. And as long as you get started, the rest of it is going to follow. So in a nutshell, music composition, the act of creating music. There are a lot of digital and technical tools that you can learn. There are a lot of music production courses where you can learn to become a music producer, where you can use a lot of digital tools. It's made it very easy for people to create award-winning songs right from their bedroom. Billie Eilish is a great example of bedroom music producers. The best work that they have done has not been in any fancy studio. It's been in her brother's bedroom, who used to, record all of this stuff with a home studio setup. It is definitely possible to do that. Most important thing is to have the skill and the inspiration, the willingness to learn, and an open heart and mind to experience the world around you, and then create the kind of music that you feel is what you like first. And once that happens, the rest of it is going to follow. Now, with this is the first part of the entire music composition career space. You have music arrangement, music composition, producing, studio engineering, and so on. So if this is the first part of how music business really works, let's go into the part of the management of music. Now, the management of happy to answer any questions if you would like to ask specific ones, but there is an entire industry of people who work behind the scenes to make music accessible to the people that want to listen to it. Now, that could be in the form of people who work for distribution channels. Like if you're listening to music on Spotify, it's coming to Spotify through some channel. How is it going from my guitar in my bedroom to your phone or device or whatever it is where you're streaming it on Spotify? What is that journey? How does it get there? Now, there are people who work in a series of careers that help artists' music reach the audience. Now, the first step there is the artist manager. Now, the artist management's role is to bring the layer of business to make sure that the artist's creativity gets the best opportunities in the world of music. So artist management is to believe enough in the artist's work, to identify the artists that you want to work with. There are legendary examples of artist managers who have taken the work of an artist and taken it from strength to strength and from avenue to avenue to make sure that it works out. Then comes the series of live music productions. If you've been to a live music concert, it really looks very glamorous. There's a stage, there are lights, there are drums and guitars and everything, and then audience and cheers and all of that. But there's a lot of hard work that goes on behind that. And there are people who first work with the venue where the show is happening. The audience there wants to hear. So perhaps it is a concert by, let's say, Taikudam Bridge, for example. Now, if that is the kind of music that people want to listen to, and there is an opportunity for an artist to create a great concert experience there, then you start working with a booking agency. Now, typically, booking agencies are ones that work with concert promoters to find out the right kind of artist who will fit that right kind of opportunity. Now, from booking to make that happen as a particular kind of a concept. So this is, in a nutshell, the example of the live music industry. There's also opportunities in music journalism. So there are a lot of places that write about music. There is music photography. There's brilliant opportunities of creativity if you are a photographer and you're interested in live music or even music photography in general. And then there is, of course, the live concert production. There are people who work behind the scenes, people who make sure the artist has a good time on stage. You have tour managers, you have live sound engineers, light designers, visual artists, and so on. So with that, I think this is roughly what I have the time for in 45 minutes to give you a short snapshot of sorts into the life of a musician or an artist. And I wish you well on your individual musical journeys, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
That was an extraordinary and inspiring session by you, sir. Your creative and funful session enlightened us and kept each one of us engaged. Now, we would like to request our speaker, Mr. Jishnu Dasgupta, to kindly answer a few queries put forth by the audience. May I now invite the moderator of the session, Mr. Saiju Augustine, to pose some questions from the audience to you. Over to you, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Hi, good evening.
It was indeed an awesome session of enjoyment, excitement, and motivation. I'm so sure that the viewers of this program in different social media platforms, they must have actually really got some insights into taking this music as a career. And so now let us move on to the Q&A session. First of all, sir, actually we have got so many questions in the different social media platforms, and our team shortlisted a few of them considering this time constraint. So the first question, so you told us actually, first of all, you were into engineering from NIT, and then you did MPA, and then you joined this band, Swaratma. And later you were saying actually the world around music is changing day by day. And when we remain to be in a profession, it is all about being successful in that profession. And sir, the question is do you believe that your engineering and MPA background has helped you to be so successful in this realm of music? Has it had some kind of impact upon that?
Yes, it has. It has. In fact, this is my answer to people who say, why did you waste an engineering and MBA seat if you wanted to become a musician? Because music is not just a standalone, something that stands in emptiness with nothing around it. Music draws its roots from life. So if I have a certain perspective towards music, it comes from who I am. And I am an engineer, I am an MBA. What I've learned from the world of engineering is, applying knowledge and skills to solve problems. MBA, the world of MBA mostly importantly taught me to be able to handle pressure and work with other people under constraints. And both of these things are important in the field of music, for example. So, and I definitely think that my background as an engineer and an MBA has helped me as a musician. So, which is why, it brings me to this point of, especially when you're trying to decide upon a career, it is fine to go ahead and do something that feels right today, because as long as you do it with your heart, it's most likely that you're going to learn something from it, you're going to gain something from it that will help you in the future, no matter what it is that you choose to. So yes.
Thank you, sir. Now the second question. Sir, you said music is for human survival.
Yeah.
So, sir, can you explain that idea further? I mean, or rather, please tell us how music is able to heal the world.
So there is an example of something that happened in the city of New York after the catastrophe of 9/11. So as we all know, there was an attack upon the United States, and in New York, there were several thousand people who were killed. And it was a very sad day in the history of humanity, and of course, for that particular city and the community. Now, the first public gathering after such a great emotional event that has just taken place, the first public gathering was not where people came together and gave speeches, or not where people came together and did a signature campaign, or not where they gathered funds or anything. It was a classical music concert with no words spoken. Because in times of great human upheaval, music is always a constant that helps you make sense of what's going on. And that's why many of the memories that you will have with your friends, with your family, will have some kind of a soundtrack. There will be a song that, a friends group will say, hey, this is our jam, this is our song, this is the one that helps us define who we are. This is what we like. This is what we bond over, And so that's why I believe that art in general and music in particular are critical for human survival.
Thank you, sir. Now, instead of a question, we have a humble request. Can we have a song specially dedicated to the Avenue viewers from your side now?
Especially dedicated. Okay, cool. Let's do it. Okay. I'll take this opportunity to play an unreleased song. This is not something that has come out yet, so it's like a behind-the-scenes preview. At the end of this, I'd really appreciate if you guys, if you're on Instagram, look for Swaratma on Instagram and follow us. There's a bunch of music that I would love for you to discover, and hopefully we get a chance to share this music in person. So this is a song. It's a song called Yuto. It's a song in Hindi about, I just let you figure it out for yourself. यूं तो एहसास है ये कहीं दूर हो के पास है हर कोई यूं तो एहसास है ये कहीं दूर हो के पास है हर कोई कहने को तो सारे नजारे कुछ बिखरे जीने को है यादें कुछ पुराने कुछ बिसरे कुछ तो बातें रही अनकही कुछ वो राहें मिली गुम कहीं जितने फासले करके ही निकले, मिलके यूं बिछड़ के उन किनारों से भी गुजरे। रोशनी के तले इतने अंधेरे, ये सोच के क्या मिले, मिले जिनसे उजाले, उनके ही साथ चले। हम तो यहाँ चाहत उन्हीं से मिले, यूं ही मिलते रहे। यूं तो एहसास है ये कहीं दूर हो के पास है हर कोई। Hi, sorry, I think I got disconnected.
Yes, sir, it's
Yes,
fine
sir.
now.
Yeah, that was a song. Thanks very much.
Thank you
Lavina
so
Martin,
much, sir. Thank you so
for-
much for your insightful answers and also that wonderful song at the end. So we are actually looking forward to hear more composition from your part. And surely, as you have told, we will be watching your like Instagram page and the social media platforms. We'll be looking for different compositions from you. Thank you so much, sir. Over to the MCs.
Thank you, sir, for all your support and guidance given to the large audience by attending to their concerns so patiently during the course of the discussion. Let us now view a short profile of the St. Stephen's University through this video.
Established in 1964, St. Stephen's College, Uravur, is an institution of higher learning located in the heartland of Kottayam district, Kerala, under the management of the Knanai Catholic Archipaki of Kottayam. The college attracts students from different parts of the state who are spread out in 9 undergraduate, 4 postgraduate, and 1 research program. The college is illuminated by 55 resourceful teachers and 18 non-teaching staff. The management of the college has always been committed to providing all possible physical and academic support services to the students. Being a free Wi-Fi campus, there are 35 smart classrooms, 14 well-equipped laboratories, including a commerce lab for online trading, a language lab, central instrumentation center, idea lab, a fully automated library, a 127-seater educational theatre with the state-of-the-art facilities, a high-tech air-conditioned conference hall, girls' hostel, a cutting-edge recording studio, a capacious Charigat auditorium, Celestial College Chapel, an Activity and Capability Enhancement Center, Yoga Center, a Media Center, Reprographic Room, Astronomical Observatory, a Heritage Museum, solar panels, a rainwater harvesting unit, IQAC room, a palatial dining hall, a cozy VIP lounge and guest room, the Gandhi Peace Park with the statues of Mahatma Gandhi and Ambedkar inculcate the spirit of patriotism among the student community and add solemnity to the campus. The spacious college canteen warms up the break time of students and staff. The interests of specially abled are taken care by sufficient ramps, wheelchairs, and smartphone digital resources in the library. The integral development of human personality is ensured through the existence of diverse forums and clubs like NSS, NCC, Placement Cell, Women's Cell, Debate Club, Business Incubation Center, Quiz Club, Peace Club, Constitution Club, etc. The security concerns of the students are addressed with CCTV surveillance, boundary walls, and security staff. Over the years, our students have achieved excellent results, including university top positions and good placement records, regular PTA meetings, motivation classes, remedial coaching, tutorials, and personal mentoring system for all students are provided. The alumni of our college are great resources as they are well-wishers of our college. The Alumni Association continues to make great contributions to the physical and academic development of this college. The college has a great legacy in sports. Ujavur Volley is an annual sport that has been organized for more than 3 decades. The college's exceptional excellence in the field of sports is testified by the legacy of Dronacharya, Professor Sunny Thomas, and supported by its spacious grounds, indoor stadium, and gymnasium. Social commitment is the hallmark of this institution. The much talked about Gramamitra stands out as an icon of its connect with the community. Projects such as Kudeyunda St. Stephen's, which comprises blood donation, support during COVID pandemic, cleaning activities during floods, awareness and empowerment classes in various fields are just a few of the social engagements that the college has been involved in. The NSS unit of the college was selected as the best unit of Mahatma Gandhi University. The Paristhiti Mitra Awards, which are awarded annually to the best environmental activist in the state, have been given since 2009 by SEED, Center for Environmental Education and Rural Development. Nature conservation, plastic-free campus, organic waste management, organic farming, herbal garden, and butterfly garden are all part of the working traditions of SEED and the general culture of the campus. Through initiatives like Snehanidhi and Lend a Hand, the staff and students address the financial difficulties of the student community. The 2 chairs instituted in honor of the former President of India, K.R. Narayanan Chair for Social Justice, and for the visionary architect of this college, Joseph Charigadan Chair for Regional Development Studies, add to the academic enrichment of this institution. With an envisioned management, effective leadership, committed faculty, vibrant student community, supportive alumni and parents, the institution continues its march towards greater excellence in the field of higher education.
As we draw the end of this enriching session, I deem it my great privilege to propose the vote of thanks. We extend our heartfelt thanks to our eminent speaker, Mr. Jishnu Dasgupta, for all his words of motivation. Thank you, sir. We express our gratitude towards St. Stephen's University for taking us all on a virtual tour of the university. Thank you. Our deepest sense of appreciation and gratitude to Chairman Dr. Shivakumar Manikam and the members of the Board of Directors, Indian Schools in Oman. Our heartfelt thanks to the President, Mr. Ajayan Poyara, and the members of the Indian School Bowshers School Management Committee and the Principal of the school, Dr. Bhavesh Balirao. We request the participants to kindly fill the feedback form posted in the chat window. Heartfelt thanks to our platinum sponsors, Jane Deemed to be University, gold sponsors, De Montfort University, silver sponsors, Dallas Baptist University, USA, Grey Matters, SP Jain School of Global Management, Sri Ramachandra Institute of Higher Education and Research, and bronze sponsors, Middle East College and SP Jain School of Global Management, Digital marketing partner, Spectrum and Trefoil. Media partner, The Arabian Stories, and other valued sponsors. Now, let us watch a video on our valued sponsors.
An event of this kind requires the coordination of a committed team. Thank you to the ISP team for making Avenir 2022 possible. Thank you to each and every teachers, students, and parents for being a part of this session.
Finding your passion is the key to your success. With these uplifting words, I, Varshit,
And I, Aisha,
wish you all a glorious day ahead. Before we sign off, let me remind you of the upcoming sessions. The upcoming sessions scheduled for today, 17th October 2022. Online sessions will begin from 6 p.m. onwards. A gentle reminder for filling the feedback form. You can provide your feedback on the Avenir website, www.aveniroman.com. Every attendee who submits the feedback form will receive a digital certificate. See you in the next session. Stay tuned and stay safe.
Avenir is a global career guidance event to empower students and assist them in identifying their ideal future career path. It was conceptualized by the Board of Directors of Indian Schools in Sultanate of Oman. The first Avenir was organized at Indian School Alma Bela in the year 2018. In 2019, Indian School El Seeb conducted the program. Indian School Muscat conducted the first virtual Avenir in the year 2020. Avenir 2021 was conducted virtually by Indian School Al Wadi Al Kabir. In 2022, the flagship school in Oman. Indian School Bosher is all set to fly the flag higher by conducting Avenir 2022 in hybrid mode. Our impeccable planning, devoted team, unmatched resources guarantee a memorable event. The 5-day event will be held from Thursday, October 13, 2022 to Tuesday, October 18, 2022. Prominent achievers, educators, and industry experts will address the audience. Universities and educational institutes from different corners of the globe will present themselves to the audience of Avenir 2022. The event is open to all educational boards, including CBSE, ICSE, IGCSE, and IB. It will provide comprehensive career guidance to students to pursue their passions at national and international universities. Avenir 2022 guarantees a wealth of information and awareness on 21st century courses, scholarships, internships, and career placements. This event will assist students in discovering their ideal future career path. Let us gather together for this 5 days of excitement, effulgence, enlightenment, exploration, and exaltation. Let's join Avenir 2022 to discover you.